Okay, now good morning, class. As you know that we have already discussed and started this training method, and I have told you that in this training method, the very first thing which you have to remember always, that is what your physical fitness. You have to produce your fitness certificate. I mean to say that the medical certificate. Then after. See, this is the very first step. You are a layman. You are a layman, and you want to start the trainings, right? You want to start any kind of sports, or you have enrolled yourself in, suppose, in cricket, or maybe in badminton or tennis, any kind of game, right? So your coach will ask you the very first question: Are you medically fit? If your answer is yes, then you have to produce that fitness certificate. You will have to take it from the doctor, right? This exercise. This is the initial exercise which you have to do, right? Once. But after that, now get down to the business, right? Once you have enrolled yourself in any kind of sports or in any kind of training, right? If you take admission in any sporting activities, or if any kind of suppose everybody used to go love to play badminton, right? Or tennis, cricket, football, everything, right? If you are taking part in, suppose you have enrolled yourself in any of the stadium, and you are taking the thorough and or proper training, so you have to produce this. And this means here your medical certificate. Every day you won't have to produce. The very first day when you have appear for that admission, right? Only the criteria. First, the very first criteria is what? You have to have a fit body. I mean to say, proper. You won't have any medical conditions, right? Then after this exercise is over, now you won't have to think about your medical conditions. Now, once you get the fitness certificate, you are totally fit. Your physician have advised you, your doctor has advised you. No, you can go and take the part in sports activities. You will produce that certificate to the coach, and he will take it, go through it. He'll see you, and he will assign you work. Okay, from today onward, you have to do this activities. This is your schedule. On number one, schedule, right? List number one is warming up. I have already explained warming up means you have to increase your body temperature, right? Warming up is very necessary before the start of any training or any activity. I mean to say sports activity or the physical activity. If you are not properly warmed up, so you may face injuries or problems, right? Just to avoid this, just to avoid the injuries and the problem, we have to do warming up. It's very necessary, very necessary for each and every athlete. Athlete means a sports person, no matter he belongs to any sports, right? Then also he'll be termed as an athlete. Or not only the athletic players are known as the athlete, he's also athlete, right? Now, the types of training. You know it very well that I mean to say that the warming up is going to help you from the injuries. This is what everybody knows, right? Sports injuries. What we don't know, or is what type of help you are going to get with the with this warming up, or what is the importance of that warming up. There are so many things, right? See, the neuromuscular coordination, cardiovascular thing, and the performance, skills, endurance, stamina, strength. There's so many things. Increasing of temperature and the disposal of waste product from your body, right? Digestion process, and your metabolic rate also increases. Everything start working. So you can say that when we are doing warming up, when we are doing this is what I'm discussing. It's a biological things, right? Practically, I'm not discussing. First, you know what kind of what biological changes took place in your body when you do the warming up, how the body temperature increase, right? We are increasing the body temperature just to avoid the sports injuries. But when we are in the process of increasing body temperature, so what changes your body sees, or what kind of changes are there in your body, right? You should know all these things. So these are the things which I have already explained just now, right? So these things we are going to see now. They are the advantages, right? The expansion and contraction, or the friction-free movement will be there, right? The viscosity of the muscles will decreases, right? So these things help in friction-free movement, right? This is only going to help you from the accidents or the injuries, right? One more thing, you are alert, you have done the warming up, but then also you are not 100% safe on the ground. Why? Because accident occurs, right? Accident occurs. So there's just so many things which we have to consider. So we don't have any control over the accident, but where we have the control, so we have to give our 100% just to avoid these things, right? Now, the next topic is what the types of warming. So you know the active warming up and the passive warming up. Active warming up and the passive warming up. What is active warming up? Active warming up consists of body movements, right? All those type of activities in which your body movement is involved, like skipping is there, like jogging is there, brisk walking is there, right? Or dancing. But these things should be done in a slow manner, right? You cannot give your 100%. You cannot do this speedy warming up, right? Slowly. You are walking, changes into brisk walk changes into and jogging, right? So this is what the active warming up, and the stretches are there. There's so many things, right? So these are the basic components of the warming up. How you are going to warm up yourself. This is what we see. And the next thing, next, what we don't know or what we don't see, or the things behind the curtain, is what we are mobilizing, we are preparing, we are toning, right? Or we are getting ready for the performance. Injury-free performance. We are getting ready, injury-free performance, right? So these things we have to do. So this is what the active warming up, and mind you, around the globe, active warming up is always advisable. Active warming up is always advisable. I have in my last class, so I have given you the examples of especially the Scandinavian nations, right, where the passive warming up is also advisable, but not in each and every game, right? Not in each and every game, especially the swimming and the synchronized swimming, or the games related with the water volleyball, such type of games in which we can do the passive warming up also. Otherwise, everywhere, only active warming up is advisable. Now, what is if this is the very main active warming up, and it's always advisable around the globe, and all the coaches, whether it's a national or maybe the international, right? Everybody is going to advise you that you go and do the active warming up, right? Active warming up. So why we have the passive warming up? I have just now have told you that there are so many climatic conditions are also there. Just to beat that conditions, we do the passive warming up. I have given you especially the wrestlers and the sports which is related with aquatic sports, right? So in which we also do the passive warming up. Now, what is the passive warming up? Passive warming up is a warming up where we don't, or the body movement is not involved. We use the alternative source of increasing the body temperature, so such as steam bath, sauna bath, sun bath, having tea, coffee, or massages. There's so many things, and the use of stimulants, also, right? Little bit of some kind of medicines which is going to increase your body temperature. But once again I'm telling you that the passive warming up is not advisable, right? Only 2 or 3% of games are there where the passive warming up is advisable. So this is clear, right? Now come the next topic is what the journal warming up and specific warming up. See, you can understand in this way that the active warming up and journal warming up is almost the same. Active warming up and journal warming up is almost same, right? Almost same, right? In journal warming up, top to bottom, we are just increasing the body temperature. Active warming up is also, see, when we are jogging, the whole body is jogging, right? Not only the legs are jogging and the upper body is in the state of rest. No, you can't say this, right? The whole body is involved in this. That your hands are also involved, your neck, your shoulder, your abs, your back, your legs, each and every organ, and your cardiovascular organs are also involved, right? Cardiac muscles are also involved in this. So everything is involved in this. So this is what the journal warming up, right? As what we do in active warming up is exactly the same thing as what we do in the journal warming up. Whereas passive warming up is totally different. There is no relation between, likewise, I have said the active warming up is and the general warming up is almost safe. So don't think that the passive warming up and the specific warming up is also same. No, there is no relation between the passive and the specific warming up. See, passive warming up, the specific warming up. Once we completed the active, I mean to say the journal warming up, then followed by the passive warming up. Passive warming up, you can say it's the another section of journal warming up, right? In journal warming up, total body temperature. I mean to say you are toning your total body, you are getting ready, you are just preparing for the performance, right? The whole body exercise is involved in this. But once you have done you are complete with this active warming up, now you will switch to the specific warming up, right? You must have just take the example of cricket, or maybe take the example of your football, or any kind of, maybe the badminton or tennis or any kind of sports. Before the start of the performance, you must have seen the cricketers, or maybe the footballers, or maybe the badminton players. All the players come on the ground and just do, or you go on YouTube and watch any of the game, especially in what do you call that, the badminton, right? In badminton, before the start of the game, before the serve, you will see they will just do it, right? They will play for 2 or 3 rallies, right? एक दो तीन चार बार में वो खेलते हैं, right? Serve करने से पहले. Why they do this? Because they have to acclimatize, right? Sometimes the conditions are different. There are so many things relates with this. तो आप उसमें जब देखेंगे ना, तो प्लेयर वो शॉट खेलते हैं, स्मैशेस मारते हैं, तो मीन्स दे आर डूइंग a specific warming up, whichever the organ is directly involved in the performance. Now they will work on that organ. You are a badminton player, so you will do all the strokes, you will play all the strokes, especially the smash, how you will have to lift the smash, how you will have to take the stroke deep, how you are going to play deep, and how you are just touching. So these things, you are just getting ready how to time the shuttle, how much force is required, each and everything, right? So that's why it's a specific warming up is also very important. So before the performance, I mean to say, once the journal warming up is over, you will switch to the passive warming up. Just take the example of cricket. You must have seen every day in the morning the people used to take. I mean to say, all the cricketers used to take the 4 or 5 rounds, right? Okay. Then all the free hand exercises. If they have to do the catch practice, or maybe the bowling practice, or maybe the net practice, whatever the things they are doing on a regular basis, they are doing, right? It's okay. It's in their schedule, but when they have to perform today, suppose tomorrow they have to perform. So tomorrow, what they will do after all this thing, they will come onto the ground before once the toss is over. You must have seen the captain is having the toss. He is busy with the toss, and rest of the players are on the ground and they are busy with that. The bowler used to do only the movement, half movement is there, and the batsman is also playing the half strokes. Means they are also toning their muscles. The bowler has shoulder muscles, hands, legs, right? The batsman is also, they are timing the ball. They try to just keep an eye. They are doing preparing themselves how to keep an eye on the ball, right? So there's so many things. Or you can say they are concentrating on the game, right? With the help of specific warming up. It's not easy to keep an eye on the ball when the ball is moving with the speed of 100 and 140 plus, right? So it's not easy for us, right? But they immune themselves while doing the specific warming up. So whatever the game you are playing, what is specific warming up? Whatever the game, you are a footballer, so you have the specific training for that also, specific warming up for that also. Suppose you are a footballer and you are a backy, so you will do all the kind of defense, right? And suppose you are a striker, so you will take the kicks, right? So everything you will do in this manner, you are getting ready. You are getting ready, and during the process of doing this, if you find any kind of problem, means you're not fit immediately. तो मैंने आपको लास्ट टाइम ही बोला था कि वार्मिंग अप इज द फर्स्ट और द स्टेपिंग स्टोन फॉर यू टू फाइंड आर यू फिट और नॉट, राइट? तो ईच एंड एवरीथिंग आप पहला चीज तो ये जज कर लेते हो कि आप परफॉर्मेंस के लिए रेडी हो या नहीं हो, आपकी अपनी क्या कैपेबिलिटीज हैं, व्हाट आर योर कैपेबिलिटीज एंड वेयर यू स्टैंड टू डू। कल तक आप बहुत सही थे, नो मैटर, बट आज आप सही हैं, नो गारंटी, right? Might be up, you are coming down and you all of a sudden you twist your ankle. It's not, you are thinking that it's not so serious, but when you are performing it might become serious. So just to find, we do the warming up. Though directly we are not checking this, but indirectly we'll come to know that whether we are able to stand for the whole day or not, whether we are able to run for 90 minutes or not. 90 minutes means I'm talking about the football, right? When I'm talking about the whole day, that means I'm talking about the cricket, right? If you are facing any problem in your shoulder and you are doing exercise and you are having problem, that means you have some problem in the shoulder. So suppose you are the part of a team and then you come to know that you are having the problem, so you are not the asset for your team. You will become the liability for your team. You will become the weakest point, right? So none of the captain wants that any of his player perform below his capabilities, right? So you have to perform up to your capabilities, not below your capabilities. So how you will come to know? Sometimes we have problems without having any injury. Then also we have problems. You are tired. Then also you are not able to perform, you are not able to line the ball, you are not able to maintain your line, and let some problem is there in your stride, or maybe some problem is there in your run-ups, you are not able to concentrate. So these type of problems also come. You must have seen one player used to, sometime he used to play very naturalist game. Nobody can match on that particular day, and the very next day, or maybe in very next series, he becomes the zero. So these things also come to what we term, this is his peak time, right? Hello, can you able to hear me, beta? I cannot see.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
So this is what I am telling you. So active warming up and the specific warming up, right? Journal warming up followed by the specific warming up. First you do the active warming up, then journal, then specific, right? तो एक्टिव बोलो, जर्नल बोलो, एक चीज है जर्नल के बाद हम स्पेसिफिक पे आ जाते हैं, राइट? जर्नल टोटल बॉडी वार्मिंग अप हम करते हैं, जिसमें हम एक एक अपने रिस्ट को भी, इफ द इन्वॉल्वमेंट ऑफ रिस्ट इज देयर, तो विल डू लाइक दिस, विल डू लाइक दिस, विल डू लाइक दिस. So these type of neck is also in every game, neck is there, right? This, whatever the game you are playing, this part is always involved in that. किसी भी तरह का गेम खेलो तो ये आपका नेक वाला, हेड वाला पोर्शन हमेशा इन्वॉल्व रहता है उसमें, राइट? इसको आप नहीं कहीं भी कर सकते हो. सी व्हेन वी आर प्लेइंग द चेस, देन आल्सो दिस इन्वॉल्व, द लेग्स आर नॉट इन्वॉल्व, राइट? So we have to do this rotation, and while doing these type of exercises, see, when you are working on your neck, to always go slow. Fast rotations are not allowed. Clockwise, anti-clockwise, right? Sideward, half circle, full circle, back. So this is also helping you from the problem in your cervical, right? All those who are sitting in front of the ACs, and you, I mean to say, in online classes, you people also sit in front of your system, your mobile, so you might face the problem. And just to avoid these problems, we have to do this. So all of a sudden, we cannot do this like neck rotation. For doing this also, we have to increase the body temperature. We have to increase the elasticity of the muscle. Otherwise, वो वार्मिंग अप से आपको फायदा तो नहीं होगा, नुकसान ज़्यादा हो जाएगा. ऑल ऑफ अ सडन इफ यू स्टार्ट विदाउट हैविंग द प्रॉपर वार्मिंग अप, दिस इज द स्पेसिफिक वार्मिंग अप, व्हेन वी आर जस्ट कॉन्सेंट्रेटिंग ऑन दिस पार्ट, राइट? सर्वाइकल पार्ट पे हम जब कॉन्सेंट्रेट कर रहे हैं, नेक में यहाँ से यहाँ तक सर्वाइकल, वो जो वर्टिब्रल कॉलम्स होते हैं, दैट इज नोन एज द सर्वाइकल. इतना नाम होता है सर्वाइकल. व्हेन वी आर और इस पे इफ constantly we are doing this, so might be you face the problem of spondylitis, right? All of a sudden we cannot do this. It's a very small area, but very important area. If you don't have control here, you're not able to bat. You might feel giddiness. You're not able to perform. So this is also in any game. This area is also very important. So all of a sudden you cannot go for the specific training. First, you have to complete the journal training or active training. I mean to say the active warming up or the journal warming up. So I hope it's clear to you what is active warming up, what is passive warming up, what is journal warming up, what is specific warming up. Now, specific warming up is done, or in this type of warming up, only the maximum concentration will be given on those organs which have the direct relationship or the direct involvement with the performance. Give specific warming up में हम उन्हीं मसल ग्रुप को लेते हैं. पहले तो हमने जर्नल वार्मिंग अप कर ली, पूरे बॉडी टेम्परेचर, एक एक मेजर और माइनर जॉइंट्स पे वर्क कर लिया, उनको थोड़ा सा मोबिलाइज कर लिया, उनको थोड़ा सा हिला डुला लिया, राइट? ओके, नाउ वी स्विच टू द पैसिव वार्मिंग अप, राइट? सॉरी, द स्पेसिफिक वार्मिंग अप. और स्पेसिफिक वार्मिंग अप में अब हम पूरा बॉडी का नहीं करेंगे, सिर्फ उस अगर इफ़ यू आर अ बॉलर, तो वी हैव टू सी दैट हमें हमारे लेग्स अच्छे से वार्म हो, शोल्डर अच्छे से वार्म हो, राइट? एंड शोल्डर और लेग्स ज़्यादा because you people you will have to run, then you have to deliver the ball. So while rotating, if you have any problem, you come to know. अगर आपका अच्छा से रोटेशन नहीं हो रहा तो वार्म अप करके आपका वो स्पेसिफिक वार्मिंग अप करके वो रोटेशन ठीक हो जाएगा, राइट. एंड माइंड यू, एंड दीज टाइप बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट जो आपको हमेशा याद रखना है कि ये और बहुत से लोग सी इसमें थोड़ा सा बहुत से देयर आर सो मेनी teachers, I mean to say the coaches or maybe the psychologists, they are not considering this point. But if you do practically, so you won't have to listen to others. You will come to know. All the coaches, they are the staunch believer when you do the warming up. So warming up also increases your explosive power, right? The best example of your explosivity is what you must have seen. We people used to play the cricket, but it will be very difficult for us to go for a big one. To go for a big one, we use whole power. Then also we feel we are not feeling comfortable to cross the 70-yard or maybe the 80-yard circle. Abhi you go and Ikana and start playing, so it's very difficult for us to go for a big one. Big one means 6. But there only you see, on other hand, Virat, it's just a flip of a wrist. This is what this. आपको तो सिर्फ इतना लग रहा है कि बस उसने बैट ऐसे करा. It's a flick of a wrist and the ball goes to 6. So in this only we are taking this. This is our movement, and they are doing this. So just see. This इतने में ही उन्होंने पूरी पावर जनरेट कर दी. तो दिस इज नोन एज द एक्सप्लोसिव पावर, राइट. अनदर एग्जांपल, you just see the any of the boxing match, you must have seen the knockouts, right? Knockouts are the best example of timing and explosive power. वो इतना दूर से मारते हैं and the people is knocked out. He is in a dark room. He is not able, he is not in the senses, right? He is not able to stand on his own legs. Dark room means तो बेहोश हो गया, right? Totally off. So this is the importance. So explosivity, psychologists, psychiatrists तो इतना नहीं होते, psychologists and many of the doctors, they are not believing in this, but the coaches, they do believe. All those who are directly involved in such type of activities. So when your examiner asks, is it a right point or wrong? So you can say it's a right. Why? Because warming up is also increasing the explosivity of a performer, explosive power of a performer, right? So this is what we have to learn in this. So don't forget these points. You will always remember. I have already told you this chapter is very, very important in terms of your fiber and how you have to answer if your examiner is asking about any training method after the warming up, right? As you say, after the warming up means half of the battle is won. Now, after the warming up, now you have to explain whatever the training method or whatever. Suppose it's a what do you call that? It's a circuit training, or maybe it's a interval training, isotonic, isometric, or weight training, any kind of training. Before the start of any training, you have to do this, right? You have to do this active warming, right? Now,